Drey, what's the mood in the camp ahead of what is another massive game? They're all massive games, but what is the mood in the camp right now?
Obviously, we've had a few days now to process the weekend just gone. It's not good enough for this stage of the season and for how we've kind of gone about business the week before. So all eyes on this game. We know how big it is, and we go in there to try and win the game, obviously.
Obviously, Mark has got huge experience in the game. What has he been saying to you guys in the lead up to this one?
Not too much. Obviously, we was off on Sunday, so we was in yesterday. We just had a kind of recap over the Motherwell game. Picked out good points that we obviously did have, but showed us that in areas where it wasn't good enough, and he was quite clear in pointing that out. And I think we come off the pitch knowing that ourselves. But and obviously we don't brush it under the carpet, but we kind of analysed it. We've gone through it and put those wrongs right. Hopefully on Saturday coming.
He's obviously leading by example. He's pretty certain that you guys are going to stay up. That must be the mindset for the final 3 games.
Oh yeah, 100%. I was going into the game at the weekend really confident that we was going to win that one and it would pretty much be job done. But didn't pan out that way. So we now just move on another week and with the same goal.
And how important is it that you ignore the league table, ignore all the permutations, ignore what the other teams are doing, just totally focus on St Johnstone?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's easy to kind of block it out, but there's no shying away from it. I think it's a time now we've got to stand up. The boys in the team have got to stand up and put away chances. I mean, I had a big one on at the weekend, which myself not happy with at all. So I know that getting one this weekend is a massive chance for us to put it away, and pretty much that'll be our season not finished with, but a big step in securing our safety.
It would relieve an awful lot of weight and pressure off your shoulders if you could get this one, wouldn't it? I mean, they say it's only just 3 points, but there's more to it than this.
No, definitely. But that's when the split fixtures came out. We looked at the first two home games. First one being against United and how big a result that was for us. And the week then it was all positive, and kind of the big gap we had is now gone, and just shows how quickly things can change. But I mean, I imagine it will be a lot more positive come next week if we manage to get the right result this weekend. And
of course, you scored a wonderful goal earlier this season at Rugby Park. This coming weekend, it'll be a great time to repeat that.
To get another one, yeah, no, definitely. So I'm not bothered if it's me, if it's anyone, if it's Remy up last minute from a corner. I'm not bothered. We let ourselves down there last time, I think. Let ourselves down, the manager down, and the fans that come and watched, because first half, I think I said after the game, was probably one of the worst halves of football I've played in. So a little personal thing there to right that wrong, but again, the magnitude of the game can't be ignored, and we've got to go there and put in a real good performance, a lot of energy about us, and get after them, because we know that we can hurt teams when we do that.
It is very tight down at the wrong end of the table. Do you feel that one more win would realistically do it, or is that not in your thinking?
Yeah, but I mean, for months you kind of whispers amongst yourselves that we get a couple of wins here, then we're fine, a couple of wins here, we're fine, and we're now in the last 3 games of the season and we're still saying the same thing. So it's time to kind of put it to bed once and for all. But no, I mean, from my point of view, it's the same every week. We're going in to win the game, regardless of the outcomes elsewhere. So yes, it's getting to that crunch time, but we've got to rise up and do the job.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.
You've had a couple of games linking with James Brown. And that's gone. Looks as though it's gone really well. How are you enjoying playing with this formation?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just enjoying playing. I've had a couple of years not playing too much, so to be playing consistently for a year has been a big positive for me. Going back to what you said there with Brownie, it's been a position I'm natural in. We've tried to not isolate Stevie so much, so that trying to get up and support him as much as possible and not obviously shy away from the defensive side of the game, because that's what is needed too. But I think a massive thing in football is kind of partnerships, and you develop those over playing with players consistently, and I've not played directly in front of Brownie a massive amount of time, so it'll take some getting used to, but I think we have a good understanding of each other anyway. I'd like to say we're both good players, so it comes a bit easier that way. But no, it's been enjoyable so far. A lot of hard work, but before Saturday just gone, picked up a really positive result, and it was a real good feeling.
And as Dave alluded to, you clearly don't have a problem playing on plastic pitches, but it is different, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it is different. I think more so the fact that they're more used to it than we are, because they'll train on it on a daily basis. You see how good their home record is. You can't say definitely that it's down to the pitch. They could just be a really good team at home, but it's something that we need to be wary of, and we don't, because like I say, in the second half we put in a much better performance than we did the first half last time there, and shows that we had no problem kind of creating chances and playing on the pitch. So it's one of those things. We know it's going to happen, and it doesn't really matter too much at the end of the day. If we go there and play our best stuff and a lot better than we did last time there, then we'll have no problem.
The first half on Saturday was a super performance, and it kind of didn't quite go to plan the second half. Can you put your finger, or have you been able to put your finger on what went wrong in the second half?
We conceded 2 goals. I think, the first half, I mean, we had good spells of play, but we lacked that final quality, whether that was putting balls into the box, through passes through to get shots away, or the actual connection when we were having shots. So then in the second half we may have similar things, but you can see 2 goals and it kind of masks that, and it makes it seem a lot worse than it was, because it wasn't as good as the first half, but you conceded 2 goals, so it does make it a much more difficult half. I think the penalty kind of took the wind out of ourselves, and we dropped our levels. We dropped in a bit of confidence after that, which from us on the pitch is not acceptable, especially at this stage of the season. So that's all I can really say on that. We need to find a way. We need to be a lot more clinical, and put teams under a lot more pressure than we showed on Saturday.